Entertainment.
Right here on WWF New York, this is going to be kind of like the Jets and the Giants. There's a big rivalry between the Godwinns and the Headbangers.
And another chapter in that rivalry was written last Monday in the War Zone when it was a match between Road Dogg and Billy Gunn against the Blackjacks. The Godwinns entered the ring and started pounding the bejesus out of the Blackjacks. Of course, these teams will meet at Survivor Series. Headbangers and Blackjacks against Godwinns, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn. And you see Billy Gunn destroying the Blackjacks' hats until the Headbangers came in to clear the whole mess out. The Headbangers anxious to get their hands on the Godwinns, and we got it going right here on WWF New York.
We have kicked it off here on WWF New York Tag Team Action. It is Thrasher and Henry Godwinn. And certainly this match will go a long way in determining the #1 contenders for the LOD's WWF Tag Team titles. Not to mention, as James E. alluded to, that these two teams will be on opposing sides at the Survivor Series next Sunday from Montreal.
Boy, they are hitting Thrasher with so many of those big telephone pole-like broad arms. It's like the lumberjacks are cutting the trees down and they're landing on Thrasher. Those things are, look at those broad arms.
Tag made. Whoop. Good teamwork here by the Headbangers.
Stop short, drop,
and a clothesline.
Good night.
The two young men from New Jersey doing a great job here, hitting and moving and quickening the pace over these huge Godwinns who, with an average weight, the Godwinns are 303 pounds each. Whoa! And this capacity crowd, we've turned folks away.
A Headbanger necklace.
Here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, certainly are pro Headbangers.
Well, so far the Headbangers, the tag team continuity has been better than the Godwinns. And here, this is one of my favorites, one of the Headbangers' trademark spots. And Phineas Godwinn is looking like he bad needs some relief.
Phineas Godwinn with that Ned Beatty-like expression on his face, hanging over those ropes. And up on top. And right down comes Mosh. Folks will also be telling you about the big live WWF extravaganza coming Saturday afternoon, November the 15th. That's 2 weeks away in Madison Square Garden. Big news on that, and big news right out here in front of us as Henry Godwinn low-bridged Mosh, and Mosh is lying right out here in front of us. So the complexion of this matchup has turned thanks to Henry Godwinn.
Well, you can see it again. Mosh hitting the ropes, ducks the clothesline, going to come off. When Henry pulled the rope down, Mosh overbalanced, straight over the top and onto the floor. And now Mosh is in a bad way right out here in front of our announce position, and Henry Godwinn going to work.
Mosh right outside. He didn't even need easy pass. He went through, didn't even pay the toll.
He went through a toll a lot quicker than I've ever gone through a toll in New York City.
And tag made now. The Godwinns are in firm control of this tag team matchup here on WWF New York. And a pair of big old Arkansas-like elbows.
Arkansas-like elbow. Does that mean their elbows are shaped like the state of Arkansas, JR?
Well, they're kind of like razorbacks. They're kind of sharp and pointed. Whoa! 300 pounds plus. Right on the sternum. 1, 2, and 2.5. And Mosh just barely able to kick out. And
well, now the
tag made.
Situation is reversed here. The Godwinns tag team continuity has the Headbangers going. First it was all Headbangers, but that one move by Henry Godwinn changed the whole tide of the match.
I'm wondering what the Headbangers wore last night during Halloween.
I think they went out as is.
Speaking of that, did you ever get those handcuffs off that little Halloween costume I heard you were wearing? And I didn't know you liked leather so much.
Why do you think I'm wearing this long sleeve shirt? Don't call the match, JR.
Oh, Phineas lowered his head and got it taken off, this time by a clothesline. Perhaps out of desperation, Mosh scores with a knockdown.
Whoever gets the tag first is going to be at the distinct advantage in this match. And the crowd is firmly behind the Headbangers. He's got it.
Mosh tags in Thrasher. Phineas not so lucky, couldn't finalize his tag with Henry. And Thrasher now waylaying Phineas Godwinn, moving this bulk around, quickening the pace. And Henry Godwinn knocked off the apron by Thrasher.
Look at Thrasher go. He is a house of fire.
Phineas Godwinn in a great deal of trouble here. A lateral press, Headbangers advantage, and, well, Henry Godwinn interrupts the count. That may have been the three, we'll never know. And Henry now paying for his transgressions.
Think he hit his head on the steps.
And, wait a minute.
Victory roll.
A roll-up, a victory roll, and a 3 count. The Headbangers win this matchup. Oh, what a knockout. The Headbangers win the match.
Cut the music, though, because the trouble has just started.
Headbangers win it, but they're losing the war here.
Look at, he stripped the clothes off of Mosh, and they're set. Look, stereo slop drop.
Boom! And a double boom. The Headbangers going down. The Godwinns as aggressive as we have ever seen them, and the Godwinns don't care who it is. It could be the Legion of Doom for the tag titles, or it could be the Headbangers and the Blackjacks at the Survivor Series. It just doesn't matter to these mean old smelly Arkansas hog farmers.
Well, the Headbangers are the winners of the match, but the Godwinns have stomped a mud hole in them and walked it dry, JR.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, the WWF will be live in Madison Square Garden 2 weeks from this afternoon. 1 o'clock is the special early starting time. Great seats are on sale now at the MSG box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. What an event it's going to be. A Saturday afternoon extravaganza. We'll talk more about it in the hour right here on WWF New York, but still to come. We'll see the Hart Foundation's Jim the Anvil Neidhart take on the American Patriot.
Plus, Sean and Brett went at it toe-to-toe last Monday. We'll take a look back and see what happened.
And when we return, Chainz of DOA takes on the Truth Commission's Recon next.
It's a battle for the World Championship, but there's more at stake. For two proud legends who share utter contempt for one another, it's personal, and it's gonna get ugly.
I'm gonna kick your little scrawny ass. I will bring the pain. All you got to do is show up.
Bret Hart battles Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship. The Survivor Series, presented live by Milton Bradley Karate Fighters, live next Sunday on pay-per-view.
Welcome back. This morning, WWF New York is brought to you by Milton Bradley Karate Fighters, the proud sponsor of this year's Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes.
And by M&M's Chocolate Candies. The milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand.
Well, folks, Kane's path of destruction since arriving in the World Wrestling Federation has melted a few superstars in his wake, as Kane is focused on getting at his brother, The Undertaker. Well, 2 weeks ago, he attacked Dude Love and savagely ended the Summer of Love with a bang-bang. But Dude has a friend who enjoys a fair taste of punishment himself and wants to meet the challenge of Kane head-on. And last Monday, the Master of Madness, Mankind, came to the rescue of his innocent alter ego, Dude Love.
So if you think Kane is going to roll over everybody en route to The Undertaker, then I am serving notice that you just ran into one hell of a roadblock. Think back, Uncle Paul, before you gloat, to the Boiler Room Brawl. Buried alive. Matches they said no human being could endure. Well, I will take on your Kane, or I'll damn sure die trying.
I cannot and I will not sanction or approve that match.
What if I said, please?
Mankind, I appreciate your request, but for your own well-being and your own safety, Your request is denied. I'm sorry. You can't have that match.
Jimmy, I hate to hear that he's standing in between me and Kane, because I had some horrible things planned for Kane. But now it's become clear to me that in order to do those things to him, something very bad is going to happen to you.
Well, Mankind doesn't take rejection well, and the mandible claw clamped on Commissioner Slaughter's gullet changed the Commissioner's mind. The match has been made. The man that's impervious to pain, Kane, battles the man who's stimulated by it, Mankind, at the Survivor Series.
Plus, it'll be Team USA meeting Team Canada. America's proudest athletes taking on 4 Canadian sympathizers.
And for the Intercontinental Championship, the rematch, Steve Austin versus Owen Hart for the first time since SummerSlam.
And Austin 316 says, I just won the Intercontinental title back in Canada. The Truth Commission's Recon will meet Chainz of the DOA. Let's go back up to the Fink. Get him, Fink. Bear down, baby.
And his opponent, to be accompanied by Disciples of Apocalypse members, Rush, Skull, and Anvil, weighing 287 pounds, Chainz.
Well, I hope that they ride motorcycles better than Mike Tyson, or we're all in trouble. Here come those propane and methane fumes again.
I don't think so. I think it's gasoline. And just get your inhaler out. I know this upsets your asthma.
Well, all that carbon monoxide, dioxide. I wish they'd go outside. Take that stuff on out of here.
The DOA will meet the Truth Commission led by that man, that giant interrogator at the Survivor Series.
He's huge.
And at the pay-per-view, once you are eliminated by pinfall, submission, or countout, you must return to the locker room. So teams of 4 will battle each other until one side has been completely eliminated. And certainly it brings up the thought that there can be some very dangerous mismatches, James, as far as the mathematics of these matches are concerned.
That's right. It could be 4-on-3, 4-on-2, even 4-on-1. Any combination. But the point is that if you start losing members of your team before the other guys do, then you're in a world of trouble. And here we go. And this matchup, the only word I can think of is huge.
I'll tell you one thing. This is going to be a slobber knocker. Nothing scientific about the styles of these two men, especially the street fighting style of Chainz of the DOA knocking down Recon. There's a first cover of the contest and a near fall. Uh-oh, look out here. Sidewalk slam. Again, nothing fancy. A lateral press, and referee Tim White finds a 2 count.
Well, I'm going to tell you, with Chainz and Recon, look at that big son of a gun. You've got my pick here for the best man on each team, to be honest with you, the most complete all-around wrestlers. Recon, 6'5", 6'6", about 300 pounds. Chainz is probably about an inch taller and 300 also. They're huge, but they move like cats.
High back body drop there by Recon, who seems to be a little quicker of the two. And there is that David Koresh-like Jackal on the outside, standing next to this monster that we can barely see around.
And ever since he's been leading the Truth Commission,
the Jackal you're talking about.
Yeah, the Jackal, you've got to think they're even... Wow, wait a minute!
Wow, what athleticism.
They're even more dangerous.
Oh, boy, what a knockdown, a spinning heel kick, and what athleticism by that man, Recon.
Chainz had thought that he had boosted the man up in a big backdrop, but he flipped completely and landed on his feet like a cat at 6'6" and 300 pounds. Unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable. Snapmare takeover into the reverse chin lock. And I tell you what, we got so many big things to talk about here this week on WWF New York. We're so happy you're with us, folks. Not only is Madison Square Garden just a couple of weeks away, we've got the Survivor Series next Sunday. And, of course, this Monday night, live from Hershey, Pennsylvania, it is going to be, no doubt, an electrifying night on Raw. And what a cheap shot by this huge, huge individual, the Interrogator. Has got to be at least 7 feet tall, 350 pounds, as Chainz goes for the ride.
I'm sorry the Interrogator is with us. With him standing here, I can't even see the match. You can't see over him or around him. And here comes Chainz.
Certainly a preview of what we would expect to happen when these two factions meet at the Survivor Series, and we talk about athleticism. Look at Chainz here, get up and down. Here's a man that is right around 300 pounds, getting up and down with great agility. And a straight kick right to the face.
And Recon's in enemy territory. He's in bad shape.
This is not a lumberjack matchup, but it looks like it's going to turn into a street fight.
It's headed that way quick, and look at the interrogator.
Oh, no!
He caught Chainz.
Chainz lifted up like a little baby by this big monster and ran spine first right into the ring post. A referee's going to be counting 3 here, and that's it.
He got him. Recon has won the match.
Recon wins the match for the Truth Commission thanks to the interrogator. And I don't think, and obviously, the DOA likes this turn of events whatsoever. And what a shot that didn't even take the interrogator off his feet.
Look at it. They're hanging on the big giant, trying to get him back, trying to stop him, trying to hold him down. And it's taken all 3 of them. And look at the cult leader. The Jackal giving him some kind of hand signal, trying to calm the interrogator down.
Well, I got a hand signal for the Jackal. He may not appreciate it. This man is absolutely on the borderline of being out of control. And what a knockdown drag-out we expect to see at the Survivor Series next Sunday on pay-per-view. But folks, still to come right here on WWF New York. The Patriot gets his shot at repaying the Anvil for last week's head knocking.
Plus, Taka, Michinoku, and others in light heavyweight tag team action. You don't want to miss it.
And we're back, folks, and of course the Survivor Series just 8 days away on pay-per-view.
Sean wants Brett, Brett wants Sean.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing
Tulsa wants Sonny.
The only Sonny.
The Tulsa Convention Center, the side of WWF New York. We are sold out. Folks have been turned away, and Sonny will be our guest ring announcer here. Nice little outfit here on WWF New York.
Don't open those ropes so wide, referee.
Folks, we'll be right back.
You've heard the promises.
Steve Austin's gonna open up. I'm gonna open up a can of whoop ass, can of whoop ass, can of whoop ass.
You've seen the results. Now you too can open your own can of whoop ass. It's a special Stone Cold Black t-shirt packaged in its own silver metal can. And it's 100% pure whoop ass. To order, call 815-734-1161 or send a check or money order to the address on your screen. This package of whoop ass costs $30 plus shipping and handling. Call now.
If I have to open up 3 cans of whoop ass instead of 1, oh, that's exactly what I'll do.
Hey everybody, this is the Hulkster brother. You know, brother, I wasn't asked to appear here on Matt TV. And the Macho Man wasn't asked to do a sketch on Matt TV either. Oh, no.
And you know why? Because we got the real deal right here. WWF World Champ Bret the Hitman Hart.
Catch WWF Champion Bret the Hitman Hart on Mad TV tonight on Fox.
Mad TV. The funniest there is, the funniest there was, and the funniest there ever will be.
Don't miss Bret Hart tonight on the Fox Television Network and Mad TV. Brian Christopher and Tajiri have been introduced, and here come their opponents.
And their opponents, first from West Japan, weighing 206 pounds, Scott Taylor, and his partner from Morioka, Iwate, Japan, weighing 187 pounds, is Taka Michinoku.
Well, Sonny's bilingual, JR.
I didn't know that.
I'd like to see her referee one of those NBA games in that outfit.
Me too. She looked good in Madison Square Garden running up and down the court, but that's another story. We're getting way off track. We're talking about Madison Square Garden in this broadcast. We're going to talk about the WWF, not the Knicks, live in MSG.
Down, big fella.
Well, there she is. Well, there'll be some farmers here in Tulsa. Won't sleep a wink tonight.
And there's a few of them right now. As I can see, they've been fortified with some liquid courage, your hometown folks to have, JR.
Some of my buddies with a bit of chaw tobacco in their mouth, wearing a nice black hat, having a nice beverage. And we've got light heavyweight tag team action here.
Well, there's my pick right there in the ring for light heavyweight champion. Oh,
Jack Doan?
No, quit! Brian Christopher, you ninny! You bubble-headed booby!
Easy.
Brian Christopher! Because he's the man that I'm picking to win the light heavyweight championship tournament that starts this coming Monday night on Raw.
And it's in his genes. His daddy, Jerry the King Lawler, great athlete in his own right.
Lawler is not his father. They've already said that. And don't worry about what's in his genes. All you've got to know is that he's going to win the tournament.
Scott Taylor showing some nice athleticism there. Scott Taylor from the state of Maine, quickening a pace here, counters into a head scissors.
And right now, Brian Christopher's in the state of confusion.
And Taylor going upstairs. The light heavyweight tournament begins this Monday night on Raw Live from Hershey, Pennsylvania on the USA Network.
It's going to be an international flavor, JR. There's 4 Americans. There are 1 Canadian, 2 Mexican superstars, and 1 Japanese sensation, and that's Taka Michinoku involved in the tournament. It's going to be like a United Nations.
And Taka will now face Tajiri. 2 great light heavyweights from Japan, and I'm kind of concerned about how well Tajiri and Brian Christopher will be able to communicate as this match progresses, because I don't believe that Tajiri really understands a great deal of English.
Well, I know that Brian Christopher told me he speaks 8 languages fluently. I know that's better than you, JR. You only speak English and Oklahoman.
And I don't speak English too well most times, but in any event, Taka Michinoku, the master of the Michinoku drive, being taken down there by the head scissors. And Tajiri, oh, what a spinning kick.
Good night. He knocked himself out, hitting Taka. And watch this, the Asai moonsault.
And Tajiri landing on his feet, showing great athleticism. And the Asai moonsault certainly worth one more look here.
Watch the spin kick first, put Taka in place out on the floor, then springboards off the ropes. Landed on his feet after knocking Taka half senseless. And now, Tajiri back in the ring and throwing those kicks.
Front face lock, but Taka lands on his feet. Great athleticism. And Taka now drop kicking Tajiri outside. Keep your eye on Taka Michinoku. Taka, springboard.
Oh my God!
Cross body right off the top. And
can you believe it?
Taka Michinoku, who recently signed a long-term contract here in the World Wrestling Federation. A great light heavyweight, and Brian Christopher in illegally, we should add. Little double teaming going on here. And wait a minute.
Miscue.
Tajiri and Christopher make a mistake. And now Taka will attempt to take back over.
I'll tell you what, with moves like this.
DDT. That could be all. The leg is hooked, and 2.5.
He's out of it. If Taka just signed a long-term contract, if he keeps doing moves like these, he better have some long-term insurance.
Sleeper hold applied by Taka Michinoku.
Maybe some whole life.
Michinoku in his early 20s. Certainly excited about his opportunity here in the WWF. And again, Brian Christopher coming in illegally from behind.
Ooh.
And now the highly skilled feet of Tajiri finding their mark on Taka Michinoku.
Tajiri comes from a family of dentists. I believe he's trying to drum his uncle up a little business. He just kicked Taka's teeth out.
Brian Christopher now gets the tag and sends Taka for the ride. And building a back suplex. And Taka just drilled into the canvas.
Brian Christopher, now that is the mark of a great athlete. Tajiri got in there, softened the man up for him, and then Brian Christopher's going to take it all the way home. Whoop. Uh-oh.
Taka, Hurricane Rana, bringing Brian Christopher head first into the canvas. And now Taka and Christopher looking for tags. They both find one. Tajiri. Ooh. And Scott Taylor now, the legal men in this light heavyweight tag team matchup.
And look at Scott Taylor. He is moving across that ring, and wow, a flip back kick.
And referee down. And Brian Christopher inadvertently hitting his own partner.
Look at Taylor.
Taylor showing great athleticism as well. Spinning heel kick. Nice move there.
Brian Christopher can't find him and says, heck with it, I'm out of here.
Scott Taylor now trying to take over on Tajiri. Taylor tags in Taka Michinoku. a double-team suplex. And the end could be near for Tajiri and Brian Christopher.
Now come on, a referee's got to get one of these guys out of there. First, the double vertical suplex.
Oh,
wait a minute.
Boy. Right out in front of us. And the Michinoku driver. The Michinoku driver. And Taka Michinoku and Scott Taylor win this match. As Tajiri and Brian Christopher really showed very little continuity.
Did you see? Holy mackerel.
The team of Scott Taylor and Taka Michinoku.
Thanks, Sonny. I was about to say, yeah, bang your head. Did you see Tajiri run right into Brian Christopher? Let's take another look at that. Christopher's hot. You see here, Tajiri runs right into Brian Christopher on the apron and then falls right into the Michinoku driver.
Well, Brian Christopher should not have been in the middle of the ropes. He should have been in his corner where he belongs. And now the proud son of Memphis, Tennessee, getting an apology, it would seem, from Tajiri.
Well, Tajiri says, well, heck with you, fella. Wait a minute.
Well, why am I not surprised that Brian Christopher attacks from behind and then drills Tajiri face first into the canvas?
Brian Christopher does not like to lose. Tajiri better take off while he's still got all his teeth.
Well, folks, my broadcast colleague Jim Cornette's been offending more people than Marv Albert. And here with his biting commentary is Jim Cornette.
I'm Jim Cornette. I just wonder if any of you are sick and tired as I am of people who claim to be the icon of wrestling. Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper claim to be the icon. Shawn Michaels is the icon that can still go. Bret Hart would claim to be the icon if he wasn't too busy crying about being screwed by the WWF. And I guess Randy Savage is still thinking. Well, Shawn Michaels is still the single most talented athlete in wrestling today inside the ring. But outside, he's an adolescent, obnoxious jerk who takes his tights and goes home if he doesn't get his way. Bret Hart is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but if he'd have been screwed as many times as he claims, he'd have struck oil by now. And Randy Savage is a legend, but let's face it, how many records did Frank Sinatra sell last year? But the pinnacle of this icon garbage came at last night's cage match between Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper to determine in their minds only who the real icon is. WCW had the gall to say this is the greatest cage match in history when it was only the greatest in 3 weeks since Hell in a Cell. But here you've got a 46-year-old bald movie star wannabe who looks like Uncle Creepy with a good build taking on a guy with an artificial hip that hadn't wrestled a full schedule in 10 years. It's a tribute to the massive egotism in my mind of both men and an indictment of WCW's promotional policies that this match even took place, much less being the main event when the card was probably the best that WCW is capable of having. By the 10-minute mark, they were sucking wind so bad the first 3 rows passed out of oxygen deprivation. It would have been funny if it wasn't so sad. Well, I'm sick and damn tired of hearing guys claim to be the icon, especially when it usually comes from guys who just didn't know when to quit. Roddy Piper was my idol when I was a teenager, but that was 20 years ago. Hulk Hogan during his best years was 50% media creation, and those are long gone. This match was a slap in the face to every wrestler that takes pride in his profession. And in my mind, no one man is bigger than this sport. But if there is an icon, it would be a man who has great ability inside the ring and professionalism and maturity outside of it. Let's leave all the petty backstabbing I make more money than you BS with the hat check girl and concentrate on talent and attitude. The Undertaker, Ric Flair, and Steve Austin have never claimed to be icons, which means they're big candidates to be just that. And on a personal note to Hulk Hogan, you are a household word, but so is garbage, and it stinks when it gets old too. I'm Jim Cornette, and that's my opinion.
Well, later here on WWF New York, look back at last Friday night's big live event in the Nassau Coliseum. And folks, when we return, the Anvil and the Patriot meet head-on in one-on-one competition.
Dinner with your favorite WWF superstar. Think of the possibilities.
Dude Love.
Lasagna.
The Undertaker.
Meatloaf and mash. Potatoes.
Sonny.
The Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes. Your favorite WWF superstar will come to your hometown to take you and 10 of your friends out to dinner. Just mail an envelope including a 3x5 card with your name, address, date of birth, and phone number where you can be reached during Survivor Series to the address on your screen. The grand prize winner will be called on Survivor Series Sunday.
Hey boys, are you ready for me?
Your favorite superstar, your hometown restaurant, and the tab's on us. Think of the possibilities.
So, Adam, honey, would you like a wing, a leg, a thigh, or a breast?
Well, I reckon I know what my selection would be.
I've been on a diet. I've been eating a lot of chicken lately.
It's scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the
Well, the folks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma are certainly proud of their American heritage, their patriotism on display as the two representatives of the Hart Foundation who will comprise one half of Team Canada at the Survivor Series, not getting a rousing ovation here in Sooner Country.
And can you believe the other half of Team Canada? One of them's going to be from Oklahoma, the Furnas of Phillip.
Oh, don't remind me.
He's a defector.
To be accompanied to ringside by Goldust and Marlena from Columbia, South Carolina, weighing 270 pounds, the Patriot.
Well, folks, as you remember last Saturday here at WWF New York, it was Goldust and the Patriot meeting the Bulldog and the Anvil. Here's what happened.
Well, the Patriot was on his way to victory over the Bulldog when in came the Union Jack, courtesy of the Anvil, right down across the head of the Patriot, and a win for the Bulldog and the Anvil. These guys, they get so many flags, it's hard to keep up with them.
So no doubt the Anvil cost the Patriot and Goldust a victory last week.
NWO fears Cornette. That's my opinion, and theirs too.
Well, you must be very proud, and secondly, who cares? In any event, one-on-one competition here, the Patriot and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who will be on opposing teams at the Survivor Series in the USA versus Canada matchup. And there's a roll-up by the Patriot and the Anvil on his shoulders for a 2 count.
The Patriot is built, he's put together, and so far, he's been able to keep the Anvil off balance, but let's not forget the Anvil's tremendous strength. This guy is just so tough, he's like a bull.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the brother-in-law of the British Bulldog. Those two gentlemen married sisters. And, of course, Neidhart, one of his claims to fame is the fact he won the Anvil toss at the Calgary Stampede a few years back.
And they're partners at Survivor Series. We haven't seen them in a while. Doug Furnas and Phil Lafon. Lafon is a Canadian, but Doug Furnas from right here in Oklahoma, he's a defector.
I can't believe that.
And after setting a lot of American athletic records.
Yeah, it's totally distasteful, and I'm certainly remiss that Doug has made that decision to turn his back on his country, but maybe we'll have a chance to talk him out of that before the Survivor Series. I don't know.
Well, nice little switch there, but the Patriot comes up with a headlock.
Certainly the Bulldog now distracting the Patriot, giving the Anvil the opportunity to regain the advantage. The Hart Foundation will be well represented at the Survivor Series as the Bulldog right here in front of us. Hey, ref, there's just a little bit of a mugging going on here as a by-the-by. Goldust trying to get the referee's attention.
Mike Chioda, the referee, he's sending Goldust back to his part of the world and not paying any attention to the real action going on.
In any event, the Anvil representing the Hart Foundation with a distinct advantage on the Patriot. I tell you what, the Hart Foundation has so much to gain and obviously a huge amount to lose at the Survivor Series next Sunday on pay-per-view that will emanate from their home country in Canada, from the Molson Center in Montreal, Quebec. Whoa! Ooh. Stone Cold can't wait to get to Canada next Sunday and not only win the Intercontinental title, but to perhaps Stone Cold Stunner Owen Hart into oblivion.
Well, I think that Steve Austin has an uphill struggle ahead of him. I think that Shawn Michaels has an uphill struggle ahead of him because of the location. We're deep in the heart of Canada. They don't even speak English most of the time up there. It's all French.
And the Patriot now with an American foot right to the midsection of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, but Neidhart retaliates. Or I tell you what, since the Bulldog's outside interference, it has gone downhill for the Patriot in this tag team matchup.
Goldust has been trying to do something about it, but every time he gets over there, the referee sends him back. The referee doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, and it doesn't even look like he has eyes in the front of his head.
Boy, no doubt Goldust and Marlena have been on an emotional roller coaster the last month or so. And the Patriot with those stinging left hands, and look at Neidhart. Neidhart is biting the Patriot.
He's Marvin him.
Oh, stop the Marval. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
The official WWF action figures.
You ready to crunch somebody's bones? I knew that you were. How's it going, Vince?
you little punk.
Hey, wait just a minute. Oh, no.
King of the Iron Rungs featuring Stone Cold 316, only at Target.
Because Stone Cold said so.
We're back on WWF New York one-on-one competition. The Hart Foundation's Jim the Anvil Neidhart being pummeled by the Patriot and another knockdown by the Patriot. But you got to keep your eye on the British Bulldog. And speaking of the Bulldog, who is at ringside, the Bulldog meets Vader this Monday night live on Raw, Hershey, Pennsylvania, and that's going to be a dog collar match. Vader and the Bulldog this Monday night live on the USA Network.
Can you imagine those two big bulls chained together by a 10-foot chain, neck to neck?
And speaking of the Bulldog, he's up on the apron and right down he comes.
He hit him in the neck.
The Patriot now will attempt to put Neidhart away. The Patriot missile right off the top. That should be enough. There's a lateral press. Look out. There's a Bulldog.
Wait a minute. The Scud. The Scud just came in and pulled him off, and Keona didn't see it, but Goldust did.
Goldust just knocking down the Bulldog. But the Patriot should have had a victory right there.
Whoa. They just knocked heads. I think Patriot took the worst of it.
It's anybody's matchup here. The Patriot and Neidhart one-on-one. And the crowd here chanting USA, USA, trying to encourage the masked man. And wait a minute, Neidhart had just grabbed Marlena's purse.
He's a purse snatcher, but Goldust is going to get it back. Where'd the purse go?
The Patriot's got that purse. Boom! The Patriot just nailed Neidhart with a purse.
That purse has been known to be dangerous. Wait a minute, what's the referee doing?
The referee looking inside that purse. There may be something in there. Apparently there is. Neidhart was knocked out.
The winner of this bout, as a result of a disqualification.
It's a brick.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Neidhart wins by disqualification.
How can the referee disqualify the Patriot? 15 people had their hands on that purse.
Well, I don't think the referee had time to check for prints. In any event, Team Canada, so to speak, gets another victory here over one half of Team USA at the Survivor Series. And what's going to happen this Monday night on Raw when the Bulldog, coming off this rather moral victory, I suppose, meets Vader, another member of Team USA, in a dog collar matchup.
If I was Marlena, I think I'd leave the brick at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, still to come, we'll take a look back at some of the happenings last Friday night from the Nassau Coliseum.
In any language, in any country, electronic karate fighters with morphing action, the worldwide leader in hand-to-hand combat games.
Tonight, Razor Jaw will be in the hands of Jerry the King Lawler, while the Sun Warrior is the choice of Brian Christopher.
And now, the 1997 Karate Fighters Holiday Tournament.
Welcome everyone to Karate Fighters is War! What do you think, Jumbo Jim?
Fans, it's gonna be a slobber knocker. Oh, let's get right to the action.
Good luck, kid. You too, old man.
Hey, this action is tremendous. They're going toe-to-toe. Razor Jaw wins. Razor Jaw wins.
Come on,
Let's go to the replay. A whirling spinning back kick right into the breadbasket of the Sun Warrior.
Hey, go home, kid. I think I hear your mother calling.
Ah, did you see that?
Join us next time as the 1997 Milton Bradley Karate Fighters Holiday Tournament continues.
Get a free limited edition WWF poster with the purchase of any Milton Bradley Karate Fighters game, exclusively at Toys R Us while supplies last. In-store coupon required.
Welcome back to WWF New York. Folks, 8 days ago, the WWF invaded the Nassau Coliseum and tore the house down. The exciting action was witnessed by thousands and thousands of enthusiastic WWF fans who saw DX show Long Island while they are the most arrogant, obnoxious, and annoying superstars in the WWF.
Well, they battled the tag team champions, the Legion of Doom, and Hawk and Adam were almost able to put China all the way up and away for good. But the cavalry got there just in time this time.
And Dude Love had a successful homecoming as he met the British Bulldog in a Long Island street fight. And Stone Cold, who was in Dude's corner, showed everybody he was more than ready for the Hart Foundation at Survivor Series.
The Undertaker was victorious in his battle with Bret the Hitman Hart, but was unable to recapture the glory of becoming WWF champion once again. For now, the dead man settles for a moral victory.
Well, folks, if you were not able to be with us live at the Nassau Coliseum, do not miss Saturday afternoon, November the 15th, 1 o'clock start. What a great opportunity to bring the entire family to Madison Square Garden. And you will see a fatal four-way matchup. Who is the man at MSG? Will it be Bret Hart, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, or Stone Cold Steve Austin? Those four will get it on in a fatal four-way matchup at Madison Square Garden.
Plus, the tag team titles on the line. The Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, battle the former champions, the British Bulldog, and Owen Hart.
And Vader, who will have Hall of Famer George the Animal Steele in his corner, will take on Triple H of DX. And I wonder what's going to happen when the Animal meets China.
Well, I know it's going to be a bull in a china shop in the New York City street fight between Ahmed Johnson and Farouk.
And no holds barred. The world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, will try to extract some revenge from the Nation of Domination's Rocky Maivia.
Plus, Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Dude Love. Will it be Dude, Mankind, or Cactus Jack? One of them will take on Miguel of Los Boricuas.
Get your tickets for Madison Square Garden today. They're going fast. Folks, for James E. Cornette, I'm good old JR. So long, everybody.